portal, then that is where the secretariat will take it from there. They have to, you submit it, they have to approve those details so that they can automatically send the money onto your eSwitch card when the month ends. So basically that is it.
But does the secretariat really come to your schools to orient you? Because I've heard Mrs. Gifty, or is it also a warrior or something, or warrior Mensa, yeah, say that they come to the schools to, I'll bring you in shortly, Gerson. They come to the schools to orient them. When do they come to the schools to orient them? In your final year?
Yes. It was in my last semester in final year they came. Yeah, somewhere around June, July, I remember. They made an announcement on KNUST campus. For me, I can say for my school, they came to orient us and they took us through every detail. So yes.
I asked that because they didn't come to my school.
Oh, okay.
So maybe I don't know what my school has done to them, but
then they have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yes, because they came to my school.
I heard her speak about the orientation, and I'm like, is it after I've graduated that will come and call us for us to come, or when? But you are clarifying that. You know, some of the personnel have also made a lot of complaints about the issuing of the eSwitch card and the using of the eSwitch card, because some of them receive the notifications that the monies have come, but when they go to the banks, the eSwitch cards are not working. It cannot work for some days, and so they are the mercy of the eSwitch cards, and they've worked for the nation, and so they deserve their payments, and so they are making complaints about the eSwitch card. Is it that they want options, or they want this eSwitch card to be eradicated and then changed into something else? Gershon.
All right, so
I don't know if I'm getting your name right.
Yeah, Gershon is fine.
Okay.
So with the issue of the eSwitch card, I don't see that as a major problem, because you choose to have your eSwitch cards based on whichever banking system that you use. You may decide to go to Access Bank or any of the banks around that you want to have your card. Now, the issue is sometimes they do make payments for the allowance, but due to the technical issues, you know, when they are doing the payments, we have a huge number here. Sometimes we are talking about over
120,000 national service personnel.
A lot. So the system cannot operate efficiently as we expected. So definitely we need to expect some of these issues. For instance, just yesterday, they paid that of May allowance. Yesterday.
I read somewhere that they had paid up to February and they were owing the rest. They were owing about 4 months or so.
As we speak now, the government is owing them only this month allowance. But there are some personnel with different issues. Some wasn't able to submit their details on time. So the government is still here to pay some of them their allowances. But those who submitted their details on time, especially the teacher trainees aspect, they have received their full allowance. Just yesterday they received that of May allowance. So when the issue of this eSwitch came in, it has to do with maybe the technical issues that comes along with it. And it happens all the time. So what we need to advocate for the banking system to upgrade upon this system that they are using to issue out the card system, so that in future we will still not be talking about this issue. But I don't think the card issue, the delay in the money landing into your account is the fault of the scheme, the National Service Scheme or the controller. They have released the money into your account, but based with maybe sometimes the technical issues with the banking system.
That's why the personnel are asking for options. If you want to add something.
I want to say something. So with the issue of the eSwitch card, there's actually another option to getting your allowance on time if it is deposited on your eSwitch card. I'll come to where you said the delay is as to when it's in your account and the technical issues. But then some banks like UBA, I use UBA, they directly link your eSwitch card to your bank account. So when the allowance comes, you have a percentage that comes directly into your bank account. You don't have to go with your eSwitch card to it, but because of those technical issues. So some banks have resolved that. However, up until 3 weeks ago, we had not received allowance for 2 months. Yes, it was just last week and yesterday I saw of the April and May. I don't know for the National Service Scheme, but sometimes the youth have to come out and talk about this issue or make noise on social media about delaying their allowance before they pay it. as before, in last 3 weeks, that is when my team started the advocacy. We had not received allowance for April and May, and people were really devastated. So it's not like they consistently do it. I was really happy when I saw the newsletter yesterday that they've paid me allowance, because I didn't want to come on this show and talk about that issue. So they saved themselves. Yes, it wasn't that consistent, and I'm applauding them for doing that, and I hope they continually do so, because it's really devastating. If you're a national service personnel in this Accra, and at the end of every month you don't receive an allowance, I want you to experience it, because when I was a student, I used to hear stories like that, but I didn't know how it felt until I became a service personnel. So I really hope you become a service personnel one day and you know how it feels like.
I think I disagree with her in some point. You see, there is no point of us applauding the government for paying this allowance at this time.
But he has done it.
Because you staffed these young ones for the past 2 months.
Yes.
You staffed them for the past 2 months. And taking into consideration this economic high cost.
The Deputy Executive Director for the National Service Scheme, Mrs. Owari Mensah Gifty, in interviews had said somewhere that, they've never really owed personnel over a month. Because if you look at their system of payment, when we are in June, right? When we are in June, that is when they pay, January, February, March, April. That's when they pay the May. So, for example, when we are in June 15th, that is when they are paying May's allowance. And so when they are in June, you cannot come and cry foul that they are owing you, in May, unless it is after maybe 16th or 17th of June, then you can come and cry foul. So if that is their system, then they've really, if you sit down, they've really not owed you people.
Well, let me come in.
Let's question finish, then I'll come back to you.
So reacting to that, I think she's not be frank with the students or the personnel out there. Because on the 9th of this very month, that was when the April allowance was paid.
Exactly.
On the 19th of this very month, which was yesterday, that was when that of May allowance was paid. So I worked for you April, and you decided to pay me on the 9th of May. I will be fair to me. How do you expect me to survive throughout the rest of the May? Not even, you didn't even pay me in May, you paid me in June. Meanwhile, I worked for April, you didn't pay me. Now you are paying me in 9th of June, and you said you are not owing me. So I think, every respect to her, she's not be frank to us. Last year, she made a comment the government is trying to increase the allowance. Till now, we are still waiting for that promise. So I think
she has gone through, has been approved, and so the central government is yet to.
She need to take time and be cool, because anytime she comes out to see certain things concern the allowance, it just turned out to be one of those.
No, but you people are not being fair to her. You people are not being fair to her. Come on, this woman has tried for you people over a very short period. How many years did it take for the allowance to increase from 350 cedis to 559 cedis?
That's a lot of money in this Ghana.
No, but that's a huge increment. If you sit down and check the percentage.
That was 2017. We are in 2023. The inflation rate has increased from there. It was 12.7% then. It's 42.2 now. Look at the cost of living. Transport fares are increasing, and you expect us to rely on 559.04. That is not fair.
She says students are very ungrateful, because she's in her office, working hard in this high position, trying to provide a good service for you. She's provided such a secured, biometrical system where somebody cannot even take your funds from you, and then you people sit out there and spew all things about it. She's not happy about it.
She's also not being fair to us, because like he said, as at May, we received our March allowance in May, and from May, April, May, June. We are in June right now. In May, we received March. Then later, coming to the end of May, we received April. Then now we've been in June for a number of days, and we are now receiving for May, and now it's April and May. It's not fair. It's not fair. One, the allowance doesn't come on time. We worked from November till February, and we received 2 months allowance in February, and that time there were some deductions. Now we understand, But they didn't.
For what?
For a cloth. I remember national service cloth. There was this cloth.
After national service, you people need somewhere to celebrate or something?
No, they put.
I don't know the sense of
initially,
that.
I knew it was a T-shirt, but there's this cloth that it's compulsory. It's already calculated in the money. So when you submit your evaluation form, I think for the first 2 months they give you a cloth. I thought it was free until my allowance came and there was some deductions, and regional or I think district executives told us that it's from that cloth. I think it's a Friday wear or something, but I don't know how many service personnel use it. Yeah, so as at February, we worked from November, December, January, February. That was when we received our first 2 months pay. Now from February, March, April, May, it hasn't been consistent. It was just yesterday. And frankly speaking, I haven't received mine, but maybe people have. I don't know for others. I'm sure maybe others have received it, but it hasn't reflected in my accounts yet.
So let me tell those who have seen this or who have reflected that you can text me on 053-1320-444. Today my producer says we would open the phone line so you can join the conversation. The numbers will be on the screen, so when he opens the line, I'll let you know so that you can call and then share your experience with us. So there's an association that speaks on your behalf as national service personnel, but some people believe that this association, NASPA, has been infiltrated somehow by political, should I say gimmicks, or some political hands, because when you people complain, they come out and then bash you people or just quash your complaints and concerns, because they come out to say that, oh, the allowances have been paid, and then these people are just making noise about. Do you believe that this association has really been infiltrated by some political hands, or are they really serving your needs? If yeah.
Okay, so I will speak on what I know.
Speak on what you know.
So as a fellow of Ghana Youth Leadership Academy, I'm working on an advocacy project to an advocacy to increase and also to pay our allowances on time. And I realized with this advocacy, I had to get in touch with the National NASPA Association.
Yeah.
And that was when I got to know they've also been playing their part in this whole
advocacy
issue. Yes. Because it's something they've been pushing already, something they've been doing already. And I had the chance to speak one-on-one with the president. And yes, with Duncan is a very dedicated national.
So he's not in bed with the ruling party.
I haven't.
As people are purporting.
I don't know about that. But from my small or little interaction with him, I got to realize how passionate he is about this issue, because it's something he's doing already with his team. And I don't know about the political infiltration, but when I took this proposal to them, they accepted it. Like, they were very enthusiastic about it, and they were supporting the movement. So I can't talk more about political infiltrations amongst them, but I know they are also doing their part to push for an increment in our allowance.
Gershon, do you hold the same view, or do you think otherwise?
I think NASPA as association has projected themselves in a way that people have every right to think whatever they are thinking about the political situation.
Why so?
Just a few months ago, when the elections are ongoing for executive, regional, and we see political parties endorsing candidates. We see political well-known individuals coming out publicly to endorse candidates.
Really?
Yes. We have seen a number of them. Vote for this person because he's coming from my camp. Vote for this person. And it is something that I will say here that the government of the day has successfully used this association to push their personal agenda or agenda to suit the government of the day. You see, when you look at other student associations like TAG, I'm coming from the TAG First Fraternity. When we receive allowance, TAG as association receive its component to its account. But when it comes to that of the national service, they don't have their own funds into their own account. Their own money that they receive goes into the account of that of the scheme. So when a national president of a NASPA needs a fund to undergo a project that will benefit the association, he or she needs to write to the scheme that I need this amount of money.
So if you are not in bed with them,
so it
would be difficult for you to get some funds.
This is even a constitutional issue, because I'm having my account with you. That is what the scheme is saying.
Yeah.
But when it comes to other students union like TAG, they fought and they were able to have their own account. So when the government paid teacher trainings allowance, TAG as an institution representing the 46 colleges of education, they received their allowance into their account, not the account of any commission that is not students' body. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying. So NASPA needs to come clear, because we have seen a lot of political infiltration into the association. We saw party colors flying all over during elections.
During the elections,
I think that is a bad sign for this nation, because if we are backing people, like if political parties are backing individuals to do this, that means they are going to listen to them. They won't really advocate for us.
But if you say that, are you trying to say they should not be able to take role models? Probably these people are their role models, and if I'm contesting an election and my role model comes to support me, I mean it's a boost to me. It would make me happy.
You see, this is not a matter of room. We all have political figures and individuals in communities that we look up to. But to the extent
the way you are nodding your head, you have some political mother somewhere.
Yes, I'm not
sure.
involved in
that. But to the extent of even using political colors in their campaign shows how far they have gone with this issue. If I'm a political figure and I support you to win your election, you see, there is nothing free on this earth.
That's true.
Everything that happens comes with a cost.
Good intentions.
So when I help you to win your election, it's never true. It's never true. So there's no way
Are we
sit
now
here.
reading the minds of people?
Well,
are we getting into the intentions of people now?
You see, it is obviously clear that politics is a business. Leadership is a business. No one will invest.
Leadership is business.
It's a business. It's a serious business. Leadership is a serious business.
Can you elaborate on that?
I've not heard that before, honestly.
No, you see, leadership has to do with your ability to influence people, your ability to lead a group of people towards the attainment of a particular goal. That is a business. Because in the course of doing that, you need to put in certain measures in place.
You have to invest.
That will help you to achieve whatever you want to do. So if I'm investing in you to win your election, whatever, at the end of the day, what are you bringing to the table? What are you adding to the
table? I've broken the table. We will not bring anything to the table.
Yeah, so leadership is a serious business.
I see. If you are nodding your head, do you have something to contribute to that before I get to my next question?
No, he has said everything. I believe what he's saying and what we are all seeing on grounds, like political people backing people to become national NASPA executive. If that is so, then imagine people in the sitting government are supporting people to become NASPA national executives. They wouldn't be able to speak on the issues on the ground, like the issues of increasing the allowance, talking about us struggling. They wouldn't be able to, because their political fathers will tell them not to do it. And that is a bad thing for us. It's not a good sign for national service personnel or even this nation. So I totally agree with what he's saying about that.
Okay, let me announce the phone numbers, because the lines have been opened, and so you can call on 0302 791326. Call in and then tell us your experience. Jason, you wanted to say something? Then I'm
making a point to what she's saying. When herself and her group started their advocacy about a week or two ago,
it's about 3 weeks ago,
we saw how massive it went. We see a lot of people talking about it. And I asked myself, so where is the mother association that's supposed to be leading this cause? If the association, the leadership of the association is not
because
sleeping,
maybe he indeed sees that you people are not suffering. You are just
making noise about if a group of individuals just within 3 weeks they are able to reach this far in terms of the fight for increasement in the allowance, then that brings us a question that what is the NASPA as association doing? What are the executives doing? Because since they resumed office, I haven't seen them or heard of them advocate or say anything concerning the welfare of their members and stuff. But this group started 3 weeks ago. And look at where they are. You go all over the country, you go to student platforms and you see them. they are trending everywhere. Then
no, you people are insensitive. Because
I want to make some clarification.
Yeah, let me ask my question, then you can add it to this. You people are very insensitive because you know that times are hard. Even the president of this country has come to beg us, come to tell us that, we are in a crisis, we are in an economic crisis. He begs. And even our budget has been cut off by, is it 20 or 25%? So do you think, okay, I have a caller, I will come to that question right after. Hi, good afternoon. Hello. I don't know if my caller can hear me. Good afternoon. Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. Please, your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes. Ma, please, I want job.
Okay, let's hear your contribution.
Huh?
Let's hear your contribution. Okay, I think I've lost the caller, so let me get to my question. In this time that we are in such a difficult time, and the president has even admitted it, that we are in difficult time, do you think it is the right time for you people to be asking for an increment? Not just any small amount, you want 800 cedis and above. Do you think this is the right time to be asking for an increment?
Yes, it is the right time. It is the right time because we are really suffering.
Okay, I have, hold that thought. Let me get this caller. Hi, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Please, your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm Margaret, calling from Kumasi.
Okay, let's hear your contribution to the conversation.
I'm a personnel at Swami. I'm Margaret, calling from Kumasi.
Okay, let's hear you from Kumasi.
I'm a personnel. Since last year November we started, I haven't received any of my allowance. And when the last week the allowance came, I was even happy that I was going to receive a huge amount. But when I went there, I only had 554.
Okay, I'm really finding it difficult to hear your contribution. So let me come back to this, please. If you were answering my question, is it the right time for you people to be asking for an increment?
Yes, I believe it's the right time because it's long overdue. I mean, in this current economy, everything is going up. Cost of living is going up. Transportation is rising. Everything is literally on the rise. Food. But the National Service Allowance is stable. I mean, my team made an infographic. We made an infographic on the living expenses of an average National Service personnel. And it's mind-blowing. People spend more than 10 cedis on transportation to and fro work. They spend on food. They have utilities. They have utilities and other things to cater for. Internet allowance. And 559 point. Let me tell you the truth. Honestly, when this money lands into our account, I don't know for others, but for me, it can't last for about 2 weeks. It can't cater for our expenses now. So imagine we exhaust our allowance, and for example, someone who doesn't have any parents or any other person to rely on, how do you expect this person to wake up every morning and come to work? The frustration alone, I don't know how people do it. Maybe I'm lucky, but some people are unlucky. Sometimes I have friends calling me and asking me for money to go to work. They don't have it, but we are expected to come to work and deliver. So if we are expected to come to work and deliver, I think the scheme should also give us what we are entitled to. They should also give us the incentives that will motivate us to go to work. Because look at this, we are the future of this nation.
You are the hope of this country.
We are the hope of this country. Yeah. But guess what is happening to the hope of the country?
What is happening?
They are losing hope. They are demotivated. They feel devalued. They are leaving the country. People have plans. They are looking for different ways to live and never return. So what about that?
Hello?
Yeah, no, even my friends, I mean, people I graduated with, everyone is looking for path to leave this country.
Hello? I have another caller on the line. Hello?
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 Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, please, your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Yusuf, calling from Tamale.
Okay, let's hear you from Tamale. Have you received your allowance?
Yeah, but I'm not on the national service allowances. but I want to contribute to this program.
Okay, I don't think
what my sister is saying.
So, let me come to Gerson. Do you
Hello?
think that this is the time for us to...
Hello?
So I think the best way to answer this question is to look at the state of the economy. That is what will drive the force behind this issue. You see, we have a government of the day that is telling us we are in a hard time. But the government is not demonstrating to the citizens that we are in a hard time. If we cannot afford to sponsor our budget, but we are spending extravagantly, we are sponsoring a national cathedral.
Yeah.
At this hard time, what do we need national cathedral for? Do you know the amount of money that is going into that project? That amount could have helped us to
hold on to that, because there are a lot of reasons for the national cathedral, but maybe we'll come back to that. I have another question. Good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah.
Please, your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, I'm Paul.
Okay, Paul, let's hear what you have to say.
Yes, I'm Paul. I'm calling from Central Region. Okay, so the thing is, I think this is the right time for this advocacy project. As rightly said by Ifia, you know, moving even from your destination to work, your rent, and then all other things, even utilities, just go online and then go and check. You see, all those things are rising. And then national service personnel, they are still taking the same amount that they used to take. 5,559. I mean, just how are you going to use that? And then, you see, I think it is time that the government pays more attention to the youth. Because usually, even though there are some adults that, you know, go to school and then all that, most of the people who graduate from the university are young people. You get it? And then it is these people that when they lack some certain things, they engage themselves into certain bad activities and then some other social vices. So this is the time. This is the time that the government needs to pay more attention to the youth. You are increasing the pay of military men who don't even, like, excuse me to say, military men that don't get anybody to go and even fight with. They don't go for peace. It's just this peacekeeping and then do things. But you're increasing those salaries. And then the national service personnel are still taking 559. How do you expect these young people to survive? You know, the inflation rate alone in Ghana here is off the chart. You get it? So I think this is the right time for this advocacy project to be pushed. And it doesn't mean that the youth are being insensitive or anything like that. Compare the rate at which the young people are committing crime. The crime rate in this country, okay, compared to about maybe 5 or 10 years ago, okay. That was even when things were, the prices of items were even low, rent wasn't as it is right now, utilities wasn't as high as it is right now. But then, even at that time, we were having a lot of issues. But as for now, even moving out from your home alone, a friend of mine who attends UCC was stabbed 6 times just for an Infinix. You get it? And these are young people who attacked her. Imagine if they had enough money, they would be doing it, engaging themselves in those things that they are doing. It is the youth that are committing the crime, because to commit the crime, you need energy and then intellectual strength. Okay? And it is this youth that possess that kind of energy. So if the national service personnel, as the young people as they are not giving the attention and giving the enough resources to be able to become proper individuals in the community, then what are we doing as a country? So I think it is time. This is the time that we need to rise as a country. We need to rise as the young people, and then also fight for things such as this. This is just the beginning. And the NSS allowance should rise, I also stand strongly with Efia and then her project team that the government should do something about it.
Okay, that was a lengthy one. Thank you so much, Paul, for the input. So, Gershon, you were talking.
So I was saying that the government of the day is not demonstrating to the citizens that we are in a hard time. So the national service personnel, they have every right to demand for increase in the allowance. Even I will even advocate an increase of this allowance not less than 1,000 Ghana cedis.
So you're advocating for 1,000 cedis?
More than 1,000 Ghana cedis. It shouldn't be less than 1,000 Ghana cedis because look at the high cost of food in this country now. A bowl of kinky is now 4 cedis. The least you get is 3 cedis.
Yes.
And you get a fish of 10 cedis. I did
You
my...
want to take a fish. You're not a small NSS person.
I did my out program at Atomic Hills. Okay, Atomic Hills Basic School. You will not get fish less than 10 Ghana cedis. Then you even come to buying certain items you need.
Basic necessities.
And you will see that the 599 is it 40 pesos? It's nothing but a peanut.
0.4 pesos.
It will not even take
40.
you. It's not even up to 40. It's not even take you 2 weeks in this economy. Taking car. So I believe that the government need to listen to the personnel, the Ministry of Education, the scheme, the commission. They need to sit down and look at doing good to these few challenges because these are the people who are going to work in our institutions. These are the people who are going to teach our children. The same.
But these same people are the, as Mrs. Gifty has said, are the cause of your delay in payment of the funds because some of you don't submit your evaluations on time. Some of you defer and then come back later, and then you expect that the time that you left, you come and then receive the payment for all of that. We are wrapping up. Unfortunately, my time is up. So let me let Efia come in, then you end. Efia, is it your fault?
Okay, with regards to this particular submission of evaluation form, so we have an account on Twitter at NSP Lives GH.
Hey, you are slurring.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Your money is doing well for you.
Yes. So we have an account, and yesterday when we sent out the article, we published an article in My Joy Online, 3news.com, Ghana Web, Modern, a lot of media websites across the country. So yesterday we sent them out, and one lady reached out to me and was telling me the situation concerning submitting evaluation forms at her end. I won't disclose her name for privacy's sake. But she's at Techiman District. And she says with regards to their evaluation form, there's a time for us to submit evaluation form. But then her district has given them a specific time that is below the exact date that has to be sent out. My district told me that on the 20th of every month, okay? I don't know for hers, but she says that there are days that someone isn't well, like she had an experience. She wasn't well.
You people are just making excuses.
It's not an excuse because the girl was speaking out of passion. One, she wasn't well, and even if she wasn't well and she went to the district to submit her evaluation form, and they requested that her administrator add a receipt or something to prove that, oh yes, this lady wasn't well and she's coming late. She did all that and she still went to the district and they didn't take her evaluation form. So why are you denying her of something she's entitled to? She's bringing evaluation forms in late, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't accept it. Do you understand? So now that is her frustration at her end. I understand that if you submit your evaluation form late, you're not going to be paid. The others will be paid before you. I understand that. But look at this girl, and she says she's not the only one. She was speaking out of frustration, and I was really sad because I've not encountered something like that. And for her to be in such a situation, she says people are receiving their allowances, and because they didn't accept her evaluation form, she
definitely will not be paid.
Exactly. But she did as she was told. She went back for the receipt or the letter from her administrator. She went back and they denied her of it. So that isn't fair. We also have flaws. We have flaws on our part, but I believe the district officers also have flaws on theirs too.
Okay, Gershon, we are leaving. So your final words.
So summarizing everything, I would want to plead on His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of the day, the Minister of Education, and all those stakeholders involved in this particular screening process. So as a matter of fact, sit down to see it's very necessary as a national security threat to increase the allowance of these colleagues of ours having their national service personnel, because this is a mandatory something they are doing.
Exactly.
They didn't choose to do it. It is by law. So why don't you provide them with the necessary remuneration that they need to do their work? So His Excellency, wherever you are, I know you'll be watching. If you are not watching, so I'm sure you will see me speaking. So please increase it to them like 1,500. It won't be bad.
Thank you. I
So
like that.
No, by that time you people will be gone. We will come.
I'll be advocating for you.
Yeah, advocate for us. We want 1,500. Yes. This is Paul Yaukuma. He says Efia Tiwa, and then he puts fire. He comes back to say youth in focus, and then Kobe Dark says Efia, I see you, and then Peacemaker says Mr. AG proclaimed that leadership is an exceptional business and also came out with a justification for leadership, and he's so on point. Hashtag youth empowerment. Thank you so much for watching this afternoon. I think the national service personnel deserve the raise. They deserve to receive their monies on time. The cost of things are too exorbitant, and so these things that are to cushion them, those people you post them to villages and you promise them protection, they don't even come. So please add them and give it to them to cushion them. You're in your offices receiving your allowances, your salaries, and it's unfair. It's in bad taste. Thank you for watching Youth Empowerment Television Show. I'll be here tomorrow to do this job that I love. Take care. Bye-bye.